Philippe Murakure has spent the last 5 years living in a refugee camp in Tanzania. Now he's on his way home. He's among thousands of refugees convinced that Burundi's 10-year civil war is finally over.
I haven't heard anything from my mother and my family since I fled 5 years ago. I miss them, and I want to see them.
Burundi's war has been called the silent crisis. Despite enormous casualties, 300,000 killed and 1 million more driven from their homes, the war has never captured world attention. Like neighboring Rwanda, it was a conflict manipulated by rival political factions who exploited ethnic divisions between Hutu and Tutsi. Now, multi-party elections, the first since the war began, are scheduled to begin in April, giving refugees like Philippe reason enough to come home despite the hardships ahead.
As far as the economy is concerned, the situation is drastic, almost catastrophic, because all indicators have gone down. The literacy rate, the GDP, everything has fallen. As a result, the population now lives in a state of extreme poverty.
Even before the war started in 1993, Burundi was among the world's poorest countries and relied heavily on foreign aid. But as the fighting escalated, most international development organizations abandoned the country, and assistance fell from $300 million a year to $50 million. As poverty grew, so too did the number of people willing to join the fight, except in areas where a few determined development organizations, like the UN agency IFAD, continued to do their work.
In the provinces where we have been intervening, there have been a certain level of destruction, but not as much as in others where donors used to be but just packed up and left. It's better for us to be there, give them a plow, give them tools, give them seeds, give them the means to maintain the dignity. Because once you have nothing to lose, the option of taking the machete or taking the gun becomes very attractive.
But it would have been better if the international community have continued to support Burundi by constructing, by cultivating, by building, by doing this and that. So people will have no time for ethnic oppositions.
Now, more than ever, Burundi needs development assistance to maintain peace. In January 2004, international donors pledged $1 billion for Burundi's reconstruction. But because not all of the combatants have put down their arms, less than half of the money has materialized.
People promised to give money, but it never came because they say the country is not secure. But without financial means, many of the programs we hope will aid peace cannot be achieved.
This is the paradox. War-ravaged economies like Burundi's need outside assistance to offer people an alternative to conflict, while international donors want peace before they commit funds. Yet for refugees like Philippe, who take their final steps home, what they bring with them is hope.
You cannot demand one of the poorest countries in the world to seek peace in a sustainable manner without the assistance of the international community. You can sign all the peace agreements, you can sign all the ceasefire agreements. If resources are not coming, if the resources are not channeled down to the majority of the population, that there is some resentment.
And the very real possibility of reigniting conflict. Lasting peace may not come overnight, but should the international community continue to honor its pledges, perhaps Philippe and his family will see the benefits one day.